Hi guys, welcome back to SMI Hub, and today I'll be talking about proof of funds for Canadian Express entry. Stay tuned. So first we're starting with Canadian Experience class, and this is for those of you that have 1 year of Canadian experience, work experience. For this particular express entry stream, you do not need to show proof of fund. Once again, let me say you do not need to show proof of funds. However, you need to show a letter or statement explaining that you are under CEC, you are applying under the CEC stream, and that thus you are exempt from showing a settlement fund. In addition to this letter or statement, you also need to include your bank statement, whether savings or check-ins, and your T4 slips, that's your tax slips, your notice of assessment from the government of Canada for your tax, and also your pay slips or your pay stubs. All of this just shows that you are working and that you have the income relevant to sustain yourself and your family in Canada. So next is federal skill worker and federal skill trade, and I've lumped these two streams together because both streams need to show proof of funds for their application, and then you must show this proof of fund except if you are on a work permit and have a valid job offer with LMIA. So if you are on a work permit, for instance an open work permit, but you do not have a valid job offer, then you must show proof of fund. But if you are on a work permit in Canada and you have a valid job offer with LMIA, then you can afford not to show this proof of fund. Now, what is a valid job offer? Because some people kind of confuse it with a normal job offer. It's not a normal job offer. It's not that it's abnormal, right? But it just means that it's not the regular job offer like when you're in Canada and you're working. For you to have a valid job offer that is enough to get points for that category, it means that you have an LMIA, that's a labor market impact assessment that your employer gets for you. And usually an LMIA job offer is often associated with a closed work permit, meaning that your work permit is tied to your employer. So be careful with this, because some people declare that they have a valid job offer just because they are working in Canada already and they have like an employment or something, and then when it's time for them to actually declare the proof of what they have stated when they were in the pool, then they are unable to, like they are unable to support what they've declared, and they end up losing points that they already had. So be very careful with this, and also make sure that the fund that you show here must be available until when you get the visa. Now we're going to be talking about what counts as proof of funds. And if you watch my video on study permit proof of fund, although it's targeted for those applying for a study permit, you will see the details of what proof of fund should actually be like. It's still the same with all kinds of applications to immigrate to Canada. So your fund must be liquid and available immediately you need it. You must have it in your bank account. For you guys that have like investments that are locked or tucked up somewhere in the bank, you have to order the bank to open it up and to convert it into liquid fund. So you need to have that money in liquid fund to present for your application. So things that you can use to support your proof of fund include statement of account. Make sure that your bank letter, your bank's details and information is printed on top. So basically the statement of account must be printed on your bank's letterhead paper, and it must have all your bank's contact information, because they might need to actually call up the bank to confirm that you have that the statement of account is genuine and that it's valid and all of that. And also make sure that the statement of account has your name. So you don't want to like print something off of your phone or off of your mobile app or your desktop app and then cut off your name or something, make sure that you actually walk into the bank to get a formal statement of account by the bank, just to reduce any form of delay during your application. And then you have to make sure that the balance is for the past 6 months. So the statement of account must be a 6 months. It must be for 6 months. The duration must be for 6 months. So if you're applying in June, then it should be like from January. Just make sure that the duration is 6 months. And then you also have to include your credit card debt, if any. So if you have a credit card, the bank must include your credit card statement of account showing how much you actually owe, so that the visa officer will be able to deduce how much you really have as liquid cash. Now, for you guys that are asking questions about real estate, like your houses or your apartment or whatever it is that you own, you cannot use real estate as a proof of fund because it's unavailable and it's fixed, right? So anything that is unavailable, just think about it. For you to convert your house to money, you actually have to put it on the market, and sometimes houses can be there for like a year or 6 months before they actually get sold. So it's not available. And also, you cannot borrow money. You can't borrow money to show as proof of fund. And also, if you are showing proof of fund in your spouse's account, you must prove that you have access to it. So you can do this by letting your spouse write a letter and signing it that that this money is available to you both, and that you'll be able to use it to settle in when you get to Canada. This is very important. You want to avoid anything that will lead to a delay in your application. So then also, if you are getting some sort of gift, so like a gift deed, maybe your parent is bequeathing you the money, or your friend or something, make sure that you have a signed letter. If possible, notarize the letter to support your application. So you need to get a formal letter from them. So don't just don't just have them send a lump sum into your account without explaining where it came from, or like defending the fact that it's a real gift. So make sure you do all due diligence for. Now, for you guys that are in the provincial nominee program, or you're applying through provincial nominee stream, I need you to pay good attention. So for your proof of fund, it's quite nuanced. It's different from like the others, because you have to check which stream you fall into. Now, when I say which stream, I mean which of the express entry streams. So there are 3 express entry streams. There is Canadian Experience Class, there's Federal Skilled Worker, as I've explained, and there is Federal Skilled Trade. Now you're going to check your profile and see which of these streams you are eligible for. So if it's Canadian Experience Class that is stated that you met the eligibility for, then you don't need to show proof of fund, even though you are applying under provincial nominee program. Now, if it's Federal Skilled Worker and Federal Skilled Trade, or Federal Skilled Trade, then you need to show settlement fund. I hope this is clear. So you go to your profile and then check that area in the corner, I think the right hand corner of your page, you see the streams that you meet the eligibility. So CEC met, Federal Skilled Worker met, Federal Skilled Trade met. Now, some PNP streams require proof of funds, while some do not, and this is all based on which express entry stream that you fall into, and that's what I'm just trying to explain. So now, if you actually meet the eligibility for the 3 of them, because some people meet the eligibility for 3 of them, for instance, you have 1 year Canadian work experience, you meet CEC, right? And then you also have some years of foreign work experience as well, and you have the settlement fund available. Then you meet Federal Skilled Worker, and then you now happen to have work experience in the trade sector, and then because of that, you also meet Federal Skilled Trade requirement, because you have 2 years of work experience in the trade sector. So there's a lot of overlap, and it's possible to meet requirements for all the 3. So if you are that sort of person, the immigration officer will evaluate based on CEC first, and then If you do not meet CEC, they will put you in federal skill worker, and if you do not meet, then of course you have to be in federal skill. The point is, if you don't meet any of these three, you can't even qualify for provincial nominee in the first place, or for express entry in the first place. It's possible to qualify for provincial nominee without meeting this, because some provinces give PR, they give provincial nomination to students that just finished, so let's imagine the student does not even have up to 1 year work experience in any any sector or in any part of this world, right? So the person will not qualify for express entry. So that's a totally different case, right? So if you're applying under express entry, you should qualify for one of these three, regardless of you being nominated for a province or not. So that's just the gist about this. If you qualify for CEC, FSW, and FST, immigration officer will put you under CEC. If you qualify for FSW and FST, the immigration officer will put you under FSW. Okay, so the first two trumps the third one. So CEC is the first, followed by FSW, and followed by FST. So just check your stream. If it's CEC, you don't need to show proof of funds. Now, if it's FSW or FST, then you will need to show proof of funds. Thank you for tuning in today. If you love my content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Till the next time on this channel. Bye.